The fear of mistakes, the procrastination, the fear of judgment, all of those things, what they have in common is that they are controlled by your beliefs. As an athlete, the more you understand your beliefs, the more clarity you have on why you are behaving in a specific way and why you are performing, outperforming or underperforming in specific moments. In this video, I want to break down to you the initial process of my coaching program. I start and finish every single coaching program that I do with professional athletes by understanding and figuring out better beliefs so they can perform at their highest potential. If you don't know what drives you, if you don't know what you care about or what really controls you, you're going to have mental blocks, performance barriers that you never overcome if you're just working physically. By understanding how your mind works and what are the things that are driving you at this specific point of your career, you're going to be able to unlock a new career, a new path for you to improve, develop yourself, and really achieve your full potential by working on the one thing that all elite successful athletes say that is the reason why they succeeded. So stick with me in this video. This is the thing that I wish I knew when I was an athlete before. This is what held me back for years and years and years, and despite all the hard work, sacrifice, and commitment that I had when I was an athlete, I wasn't able to outperform. I wasn't able to achieve my full potential because I was stuck in a place that I had no tools to get out of. So this video is about that. This video, I want to break down to you the processes, the science, the exercises, and the tools to allow you to overcome your mental block. So stick with me, grab pen and paper, and really take notes. Start understanding and working towards your best version, your highest self, the version of you that will allow you to achieve the best things that you can achieve. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step all the things that you can do to make sure that you are actually getting closer to your highest potential, and most importantly, that you live your life in a better way. That you're actually able to use all of the skills, all the hard work and sacrifice you put in daily when it matters most. If you are a player, an athlete that works really hard, has great skills, but you are unable to use those skills when it matters most, you're not going to be a great player. You're not going to achieve great things, because when it matters most is when you have to perform. And if you're not performing, this is the reason why. If you got the skills, if you work hard, if you feel like you have a great potential, but still you are not fulfilling that potential, this is the reason why. And what you need is mental work. So for us to begin this video, this preparation, this masterclass, you need to understand what really drives you, and that's your beliefs. So if you think that you are not so good, if you feel like people are judging you all the time, if you feel like you are just not able to accomplish good things, those beliefs will control you 100% of the time without you even being aware of that. The reason why that happens is because based on those beliefs, we start developing coping mechanisms. So those coping mechanisms could be procrastination. They could be seeking for external recognition. They could be fearing and avoiding mistakes, playing too safe. Let me explain to you why that happens. So imagine that you feel like you are not so good. That really hurts. That feels really, really bad, because no one likes to know that they're not good enough, or they're not going to accomplish good things in life. So in order to protect ourselves from those weaknesses, from these insecurities, from those doubts, what we do is we start seeking for outside recognition. Because if I don't think that I'm good enough, but other people are telling me that I'm good enough, that's the easiest way to solve this problem. Or if I feel like I'm not good enough, what if? That's how your mind thinks. What if I start not making mistakes anymore? That's a great sign that I am actually good, because if I'm not making mistakes, everyone will perceive me as being a good athlete. So it makes a lot of sense. And we start developing those coping mechanisms. Over time, the better the emotions, and the more that we repeat those things, the more they perpetuate in our system. So it's like every time I go to play a game and I have the belief that I'm not good enough, I avoid a mistake, I feel that relief. This emotion that I feel, this feeling of security, of safety, promotes me a great relief. The more times I repeat that, the more I strengthen. So assume those are neurons in your brain. They are strengthening their connections based on emotion and based on repetition. So every time that I get this emotion of relief, it strengthens these connections, which makes it easier and easier and easier for my brain to repeat these actions again in the future. And the more this happens, the stronger this emotional habit becomes, which are called coping mechanisms. I know these might feel like a class and these might be a bit boring, but I promise you, if you pay attention for the next 5 minutes of this video, you will unlock a lot of new possibilities for your development. So imagine that you are repeating these for many years, and you are strengthening those connections because every time you feel like you're not good enough, you avoid a mistake, you seek for recognition, you avoid feeling like a failure by playing too safe. You are strengthening those, and then every time these gets easier and easier. Now you want to make yourself to play with more freedom, to take risks, to really try again, to try a bit better, to use the skills that you know that you have, but at the same time, the emotional habits that you have, all of the internal perception, your beliefs, your coping mechanisms, your emotional habits, they were training to feel and behave this way for many years. And now suddenly, you want to change that just by rationally thinking, I want to play better. I shouldn't avoid mistakes. I shouldn't fear failure. That is not going to change all of those connections that you repeated for many years. Think of yourself practicing to use your right foot for many years. Now, all of a sudden, you want to use your left foot without ever practicing it and just telling yourself, you should use your left foot more often. That is not going to happen because you have too many connections in your brain that tells you otherwise. And those connections are really smart. So our brain tries to protect ourselves. It tries to save energy by relying on things that we learned in the past. So if these are the things that I learned for 10 years, for 5 years, or that had a lot of strong emotions associated, it is not just by telling myself, I am confident, I can make mistakes don't matter. That will not change my emotional approach. It's as if you have a lot of strong connections in your brain that tell you to play safe, and then when you tell yourself that you can try, that you can make mistakes, it's this, in comparison to all of this. Obviously, it is not going to change how you respond. So, how do we rewire your brain so you can actually start playing better, so you can actually take more risks, so you can actually achieve your full potential and outperform consistently, which as an athlete that really works hard, it's the thing that you're looking for. So, the good news is, it only takes 20 minutes a day, and it doesn't require any more physical work. If you're working really hard on the pitch at the gym, and you're not seeing those results, the good thing is, for you it's going to be quite easy to get those results because it is not going to require as much hard work as you are already putting in. However, it does require a different strategy because, as you know, the things that you are doing are not giving you the results that you're looking for. So, if the things you are doing are not giving the results that you're looking for, you must do something else so you can achieve different results. And this is the process of rewiring your brain. In this situation, all we need to do is to understand the beliefs you have, to understand the coping mechanisms that you already have, so we can understand that at different events, you have specific interpretations which are mainly controlled by your beliefs that take you to have a different behavior, like playing too safe, avoiding failure, procrastinating, all of those things that will give you different consequences. So, the process that I want you to do is to evaluate right now if the interpretation and the behavior that you are having, so that you cannot make mistakes, that you should look for outside recognition, that you should avoid failure, all of those things, if they're giving you the consequences that you want. And I really want you to draw these things. Events, a match, the interpretation. I cannot fear, I cannot make mistakes, I cannot fail in this place, I have to outperform everybody, all of those things. Everybody's judging me. What is the behavior that you have? How do you respond to that situation? And then the consequences. Are you achieving full potential? Are you playing up to your full potential? Are you really enjoying your time on the pitch? Are you getting closer to your goals? all of those consequences. And then start evaluating what is a better approach, what is a better interpretation for this specific activity. Like I told you, just rationalizing that. I can make mistakes, mistakes makes me better, mistakes are part of the game, all of those things, just rationally knowing them won't change how you approach your game. But it is important that you understand and start practicing your approach for the game. And that's the thing that we're going to do. With better beliefs, you improve your results. So for the process of creating better beliefs, firstly, you need to identify what is a better approach, what is a better interpretation for that situation. So, if you want to approach the game as an opportunity to grow, learn, and make yourself better, which I think it's extremely helpful, what is the behavior that you would have if you had that approach? Would you ask for the ball more often? Would you overcome mistakes more easily? Would you expose yourself to different scenarios? Would you look forward to the next match? All of those things. And what are the consequences? Well, you would learn more, you would grow, you would have improved emotional control, you would perform better, you would have more freedom, you would have better relationships, you would feel less stress, you would feel less anxious before the game. All of those consequences are coming from a different interpretation of the game. Notice that the event is the same. It is the same football game. It is the same basketball game. The thing that changes is the interpretation. The interpretation, your beliefs, are going to change your behavior, which are going to change the consequences. We don't change the events. If you're injured, if you're not playing, if you have a bad coach, if you have a bad team, if you're playing in bad weather, we don't change that. What we change is the interpretation. And this is the reason why your mental game is so important. And this is why it literally controls your future. Because as we're seeing here, the interpretation controls your behavior. The behavior controls your consequences. The consequences are the things you're going to achieve. If you're not achieving the things that you want to achieve, it's because your behavior is not being so helpful, which is being controlled by your interpretation. This is the process. Now, once you have all of this written down, and it is very important that you do that you write down the events, the interpretation, the behavior, and the consequences. We start using a 20-minute mental training routine to make sure that you are doing the best things to change how your brain operates so you can create better beliefs that will automatically improve your results. How do we do that? Every single mental training drill will help you do just this. For example, we can use mindfulness to increase your ability to recognize your automatic impulses, your emotional habits. Part of your brain that is related to emotional habits, it's called the striatum. When you are under stress, we are more likely to fall into old habits. That means with mindfulness, you're better able to recognize these old patterns that you have so you can more easily transform the way that you operate. Visualization will help you to create better kind of behaviors, will allow you to experience those situations with a different mindset. It's as if right now, at this moment, you'll be able to stop what you're doing, put your mind back into a situation that before made you to really feel a lot of fear and anxiety. You're able to put yourself at that situation, experience those things again now with a different interpretation. This is visualization. You can use goal setting to change how you focus. If before you were in a situation with the goal of protecting yourself, of avoiding criticism or gaining acceptance, you can put yourself in that situation with the clear goal of growing and learning or being in the present moment. So, mindfulness, visualization, goal setting, journaling will help you to analyze all of those things and the consequences of those things, which will motivate you to have a different approach. So we're here speaking 4 different drills that can be used every single day that will massively improve your emotional control, your mental resilience, and will allow you to have better consequences of the actions that you take. These are just 4 of a lot of mental training techniques that you can use. If you want to learn exactly step by step how to become the most confident player on your team, in the description of this video, there is a link for a free masterclass that I only recommend that you watch if you're a serious player who really wants to make the most out of your career. This takes time and effort. So if you're really not interested or not that committed to improving yourself, this is not for you. But on the other hand, if you're really serious and looking to achieve your highest level, that video is perfect for you at this point. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.